What's happening? Today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It's the 14th day of September, and this is the 72nd episode. Sorry. Sorry about that. 72nd episode of the Be Your Own Hero show. I just lost my train of thought because I was trying to figure out what happened with the audio. Anyway, 72nd episode of the Be Your Own Hero show. This is Tip Tuesday. That's the day that I talk about money. So, just a reminder, I am not a certified financial advisor. Take what I say with a grain of salt. These are just the things that I have learned as I am continuing on my journey to be my own hero. Here we go. All right, so I got a lot to say as usual on Tip Tuesday. I found a lot of things of interest. So, where should I begin? I think I'm going to start with a quote. So, this quote is from a two-time Nobel Peace Prize nominee. Here we go. Every informed person needs to know about Bitcoin because it might be one of the world's most important developments. It's a big statement. I'm going to follow that up with another quote. This one is, Bitcoin will do to banks what email did to the postal industry. Another very strong quote. So as you can see, my head is in cryptocurrency this week and also last week. I think you know that what shifted it for me was researching how much money is already in crypto, because that boggled my mind. So just as a reminder for those of you just joining us, cryptocurrency has already accumulated $2 trillion. $2 trillion. So in terms of the GDP, it would be higher than Canada's GDP. If cryptocurrency was a country, it would be in the top 10 of countries. I mean, that's mind-boggling to me. So the way I was thinking about it was cryptocurrency is something that may or may not happen in the future. But that's wrong. Cryptocurrency has already happened. It is already a $2 trillion industry, a $2 trillion ecosystem, parallel to but separate from our currency system. So it is critically important that we, all of us, understand it, because it's happening. It's already happened. It's now. So that said, I went down the rabbit hole quite a bit this week. I discovered an interview with a man who was a retiree from Goldman Sachs, where he was a hedge fund manager. I just want to emphasize that. Goldman Sachs, hedge fund manager. We're talking straight Wall Street, straight-laced Wall Street. This man has reallocated all of his resources, all of his investments to cryptocurrency. Now, when I say all, I mean 100%. 100% of his investments are in cryptocurrency. That's mind-boggling, like nothing in stock, everything in crypto. And this is a Goldman Sachs hedge fund manager. And he said that he feels underexposed, like he doesn't have enough cryptocurrency. So he has real estate holdings, and literally every time he gets income from his real estate holdings, he shifts 100% of that money back into cryptocurrency. Once again, Goldman Sachs, hedge fund manager. I'm just saying this is something that we all have to pay attention to. If you're under the sound of my voice right now and you've been ignoring cryptocurrency, pay attention. Pay attention. Okay. So all that said, I want to tell you about what I've been doing. So over the past week, I have been thinking about putting my stock portfolio into like a set it and forget it space where I don't have to check on it all the time, or as much as I do, I can just put it someplace where I know that it's good so that I can reallocate some of my own human resources to focusing on cryptocurrency so I can study it more. So that said, I've been studying ETFs and index funds. So do I want to start with that? Yeah, I guess so. So ETFs and index funds are places where you can stick your money in terms of the stock market and it will grow and appreciate, and you don't have to worry about it as much. So I'm going to explain it the same way that Wall Street Trapper explained it. So I've been buying I've been buying a little bit of everything in terms of stock. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Once I figured out it was fractional and you could buy stock for as little as $1, I went crazy. I bought a bunch of different tiny little pieces of stock. So if you go into a supermarket and you go into the chips aisle, you got Ruffles, you got Pringles, you got Cheez-Its, you got all these different kinds of chips and snacks in the aisle, right? So I've been buying a little bit of everything. The way Wall Street Trapper explains it is, yeah, you can buy all those individual stocks, or you could just buy the whole aisle. The whole aisle. So buying the whole aisle is called an ETF, an exchange traded fund. So this is a managed fund where the people who manage it have gone in and they've already bought everything in the chips aisle, and they compiled it into an ETF, into a fund that you can buy a share of. And the other thing that's really exciting about this is that you're buying a share of the fund for less than it would cost you to buy all the individual shares. So in other words, you buy Ruffles, Pringles, and Cheez-Its at $5 per share each. That's 15 bucks. But if you buy the fund, you might be able to get the fund for $5 a share, period. And Ruffles and Pringles and Cheez-Its are already in the fund. So it's a better play. Also, many of the ETFs have dividends. Some of them don't, some do, but some of them have dividends, and then that helps you accumulate money faster. But I think the main thing to focus on is you get diversification and exposure to a wide range of products, a wide range of companies also within one fund. So it really eliminates the need to do as much research. And also, one more thing, you can find an ETF for whatever it is you're interested in. Like for me, I'm interested in automotive. That's one of the many sectors I'd like to invest in. Well, I can find an ETF for automotive instead of individually buying Volkswagen, Porsche, etc. Actually, Porsche is owned by Volkswagen too. But you get the point. Like you can find an ETF for whatever sector you're interested in. Which brings me to another thing. You need to decide what you're interested in. As you no doubt discovered, those of you who have started dabbling in the stock market, you've no doubt discovered it is vast and it's not as complicated as you thought. And you can buy just about anything. So in order to maximize your returns, you have to have a plan. You have to have a goal. So that boils down to deciding what sector you want to invest in. And you can, again, find an ETF that speaks to your sector. Or, and this is again what Wall Street Trapper said, you can choose an index fund. So where an ETF fund is buying an aisle of a grocery store, an index fund is buying the whole grocery store, the whole thing. So the index fund that we have heard the most about is the S&P 500. All of us have heard that phrase, even if we don't know what it is. So I am just now learning what that is. The index fund has all these companies in it. And again, it's a managed fund where they have put all these different the stocks from all these different companies in a single index fund, and it just keeps chugging along, chugging along. It had a 30% dip during the pandemic, but that wasn't much of a dip. Over the course of its life, it has risen by 900%. 900% over the past year by 30%. Now, inflation is increasing at a rate of 1% to 2%. So if you're in the S&P 500 at 30% and it continues to build at 30%, like you're making 27% off your money, or 27% on your money. So specifically, let me get specific real quick. So my Robinhood account, I closed my positions on everything. 100% of what I had in Robinhood, I closed my positions and I reallocated those funds to the S&P 500. So I was able to almost buy a full share of the S&P 500. Right now, the S&P 500 is trading at about $450 per share. So I just made up the difference from my checking account to make sure I could get a full share of the S&P 500. But I closed out on some cryptocurrency I had in there. I closed out on a stock that was performing at over 900% because my logic was, well, it's already performed at over 900%. How much further can it go? Like, I feel like it's done its thing. It's given me quite a bit of money, quite a bit of equity rather. So let me shift that equity into something like the S&P 500 that's just going to keep chugging along, and I can just put the money in there and forget about it. So that's one move I made in one of my brokerage accounts. So I have Robinhood, Ameritrade, and Cash App. I'm on all three of those. So that's what I did in Robinhood. I'm starting to do something similar in Ameritrade. Again, the point is I'm trying to reallocate my resources into things like index funds and ETFs so that I can focus my energy on really understanding crypto. So that's it. Let's talk about crypto for a second. So just like the stock market, there are many exchanges for cryptocurrency. I'm up on only one of them. It's called Coinbase. So I'm up on Coinbase. I've been up on Coinbase for some months. And what I did there is I just really went in to look, because when I went in the beginning, I just went in there just like with the stocks, and I splashed around and grabbed a bunch of things. I was like, I don't know what's really going on. But now, again, because of these quotes, because I know how much money is in crypto, I went in and I looked, and I saw that 3 of my cryptos were paying dividends, one of which was paying a 4% dividend. So I was like, well, that's significant. So I closed my positions on everything except like the blue chip cryptos, Bitcoin, blue chip, Ethereum, blue chip. Those are the 2 that you've heard the most about. And then one other that I think is going to do well. I don't know if it's not blue chip, but I think it's going to do well. I closed my positions on all of those cryptos and shifted them into the cryptocurrency that's giving me a 4% dividend return. Remember, cryptocurrency is 24/7, 365. The markets never close. And the reason that I shifted all the money into that cryptocurrency, in addition to the fact that it's got a 4% dividend, is I put $10, like literally $10 into that crypto just to see what it would do. And it doubled 200%. It went from $10 to $20. And I was like, yeah, let's double down on that. So I closed my other positions and put everything from those other cryptocurrencies into that one. So that said, get up. I'm trying to figure out how I should do this in terms of in order. I'm just going to skip the homework. Here's my homework for you. For those of you who have followed my lead or whoever else's lead and got into the stock market, but you're trying to figure out what to get, research ETFs and index funds. ETFs and index funds. Because you can put the money there and then you can just kind of forget about it. Like it's just going to keep building slowly but surely over time, right? For cryptocurrency, my homework is get on an exchange. Just like you did with the stock market, just get on an exchange and see what's in there. Just look around a little bit. Because again, if cryptocurrency was a country, it would be in the top 10 countries in terms of GDP right now. $2 trillion right now. Like this is already happened. This has already happened. This is waiting for the world to catch up. And I'm almost out of time. But the other thing that's really impacting me right now is that there's unparalleled access to cryptocurrency. Like, in other words, the financial institutions of the world, the Goldman Sachs of the world, have always held the resources apart from most of us, right? It's always been over there on Wall Street where you can't quite get to it. Well, cryptocurrency isn't like that. Wall Street can't get to it. We have unparalleled access to something that can increase our revenue significantly, increase our net worth significantly, can make significant amounts of money, especially as it continues to come online, especially as the world wakes up and starts using it. I mean, the potential is significant. So again, my homework for you, which is my homework for me, continue studying ETFs and index funds for stocks, because we can just put our money into index funds and ETFs and not worry about it, and focus our energy on learning cryptocurrency, because again, this has already happened. $2 trillion already. So let's learn about cryptocurrency and figure out the best ways to maximize it for our benefit. Again, I found a cryptocurrency that's returning 4% constantly because cryptocurrency markets never close. So it's constantly returning 4%. And I plan to reallocate that money into the blue chips, into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, so I used up all my time and more talking about the cryptocurrency and the finances. I'm telling you, this money thing is getting big for me. I do have an idea for the splinter cell group that I want to create. So stay tuned for that. I think I'm going to talk about it more on Tally Thursday as I list things out. But yeah, study your cryptocurrency, study your ETFs, study your index funds, and let's circle back. Let's make something happen. And I'm going to get out of here. So you can check out Sit with Rev Melissa at 10:30 Eastern. And check me out here again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern for Workout Wednesday. Yes, tomorrow is Workout Wednesday. I'll be back here for the Be Your Own Hero show. So till then, keep doing, be a hero, be your own hero. That's the hard part. And remember that now, right now, is better than perfect. I'll see you tomorrow. Later.